Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Cindy Schreiber, and it is so nice to be here with you. I am working with you for this series right now, and this is the series from the book, The 30-Day Sobriety Solution. And I got so excited about day 5. Whenever I'm reading this stuff and studying this stuff for you all, I realize this is stuff that I've used in my life. So many of these techniques are so powerful. And I did a meditation this morning. I'm going to share some of that with you, with a healer, a mentor, a friend, a wonderful empathic person. And so let's get ready and sit back, take in a deep, nice breath, and get ready for your solutions again. Now, this is day 5, and this chapter is called The Believe in Your Solution. And this book, again, is by Jack, let's see, what's his name? Jack Canfield. The title is, it's kind of unclear, but anyways, yes, the guy, the chicken soup for the soul man, day 30, the 30-day sobriety solution. And this was written, here it is. Oh, that's who they dedicated it to. This program, it tells this man here, Brian Jefferson Duke. That's who they did the dedication to. But this book is not that clear at all when it comes to the author. You'd think the author would want their name right on the front. But 2 people wrote the book. One of them is the Soup for the Soul guy. Soul for the Soup. You know that guy, Jack Canfield. Now, why he wouldn't put his name all over, at least in the beginning of the book. Note to the readers. Nope. This book, oh well, it still is such a fantastic resource for your life. So, I'm just loving this. And like I say, I'm so happy to be here connecting with you today. This is my life's work. I've been preparing for this for years and years. When I was a little girl, I was always curious about people and life and what made them tick. And I have been studying the human mind, body, and soul for about, I'd say 50 years. So what I have for you are stuff that I know that works. And this whole world, we don't come here with instructions. Some of us never ever get grounded right in spirituality, strength, or in your own higher power and your wise mind. Some of us have had traumatic childhoods, and all of us are here, but we're connected. It doesn't look like we are with this world. This world seems so divided, and it is. So instead of taking a side on these political divisiveness, which I have done, and it has drained me nearly to the core until I finally realized and got grounded again in my truth. And I will talk to you a little bit about that. But right now, what we're going to deal with right here and right now is the Believe in Your Solution, Chapter 5. You know, believing in yourself and believing it's possible. And I know I've struggled with this my entire life, and many people have, that have been traumatized, that have been told you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not tall enough, you're not whatever. Your family isn't right, you're not the right race, whatever. Guess what? We're all here, we're all connected. We're all from the human race. And I want to give you my love, and I want to get started on this. So, things always happen that you really believe in, and the belief in the thing makes it happen. Now, this was a saying, and this guy died in 1959. He was from 1867. Frank Lloyd Wright. Wow. Anyways, this is frequency. You know, they used to think, wait till things happen and then get that energy, okay, and join it. But really, this energy exudes from you. When you think, well, why are people treating me like I'm a victim? You are exuding that energy. Why do people treat the current president like he's so great? It's that energy he exudes. Billionaire, smart businessman, can do, yes, can do. And the energy that you exude are what people come toward. Now, you want your energy to be good for you. So it's not what you say, but it's your vibe, your frequency. And this is about getting clean and staying clean and getting on with your life. If you're going to be successful in stopping the drinking or the drugging and creating the life of your dreams, you have to believe it's possible. Many people think or say or pay homage to believing, but they really don't. They will go to church and believe in God and then go out and cuss and drink and do all the same things and hit their kids. But you really have to believe in yourself. You have to call this belief self-confidence, self-assurance, or self-esteem, and it consists of an absolute certainty that you have the ability and the inner means and skills to create whatever you want. You know, for a long time in my life, many years, I had abandonment issues. And I thought every man was going to fulfill me. And as an older woman, I look back on my life, which is what you do when you're this age. You look back and you think of all the things and all the people you gave power to. And I think of every man that I gave my power to in my life and how I ended up helping that man. And how that man devastated me in so many ways because I gave him the power. I realized, and I just keep learning and growing on it, that I am the power. I am from Jesus Christ Superstar, God, whatever your name of your creator is the highest part of you. That is in me. That is the source, the frequency. And I am the light, and that exudes from me. And that light has always taken care of me. It hasn't been a man. Or maybe you think a woman will fulfill you. Oh, if I only had that relationship. All those relationships do is bring up all your issues to heal through. So it's better to heal on your own and then seek out others to heal with you. Now, believing in yourself is the starting point for all achievement. And this one person said, I used alcohol as a friend, just like you use a cigarette as a friend, a companion, a protector over the years. I made it into whatever I needed it to be, whenever I needed it. I acted like it was the answer to my emptiness and loneliness. Now, this is for everybody who's become an addict. We feel like that joint, that shot of tequila, that hit of heroin, that hit of fentanyl, that hit of Xanax is really going to take away the pain. And it does. Oh, it do. You're in that hospital and that shot of morphine, if you've never been an addict, takes away every drop of pain you would ever want. You could be in excruciating pain, your body cut nearly in half, and you take that morphine and you're feeling nothing. And that is great for a major surgery. Other than that, we don't need it. We don't need to be numbed out anymore. We don't need it. And part of this not being numbed out is realizing that you're the source. The God in you, the highest part of you, is the source, the light. In the end, it was all a lie that lasted well over a decade, this person said. The alcohol left me with self-doubt, guilt, shame, depression, anxiety, and fear. This is what the drug will do to you people. The 30-day solution helped this person to take the mask off I had been hiding behind, freeing me finally to thrive in society. And this is from one of the participants, and I thought that was a very beautiful testimonial. So when you think about yourself in a particular about you before you started the program, what are the predominant thoughts or your self-image? Had you been drinking for so long, did you think of yourself as a drunk, a drug freak, an alcoholic, a problem user? Did you think of yourself as someone who would never be able to get off of this? Many people tell me I never thought I could quit, and they're still using. You have probably thoughts similar to these quite frequently. Having a positive self-image is vital to your success. Oh my gosh, taking a deep breath, everybody. I know you're thinking, how do I get it? Because this is what I've been doing my whole life, is doing another self-help program, another best friend, another seminar. The therapist that I've paid through my own life, people. The therapist I've befriended, and it's always like, I can help you, I can save you. And everybody's a leader, and they all want you to follow them, but I'm telling you, it's a you're here with Source. It's you and Source energy, and that's all you really need once you connect with that. It's like there's this electricity. Mario Di Ferrari used to say, he's not old, he's passed away by now, but my minister from Unity, our church Unity, he would say, he had this lecture, this sermon, and it was about electricity, and I got a copy of it and listened to it. It was back when we had the tapes, the cassette tapes, and I had hundreds of his tapes because he was so powerful. And he said it's like electricity. You cannot see it, okay, but it's there. It's so powerful. Look at lightning and the electricity that comes out of that. It is so powerful. Well, we are powerful beings, and we have that in us. You have a positive self-image. It's vital for your success. So how do you get that positive self-image? Well, as a therapist, I could tell you, look at your trauma. Go back to your childhood. Look at your trauma, heal your pain, and that's a lot to it. But you don't have to go to therapy to do that. When you have a healthy self-esteem, you take a healthy risk, and then you can quit. You're goal-directed and driven. You face your fears head on. When you have low self-esteem, you don't take risks. You don't leave your house. You stop when you're faced with the slightest roadblock because you don't believe in yourself. Now, neuropsychologists say this is true because we spend our whole life becoming conditioned. Through a lifetime of events, our brain learns what to expect. And humans, especially now when we look at this divided world, are not treated like they're very important, like they're very special. Not in this world, not in this regular world. We're just like little worker bees. We just take our orders, work our little jobs, try to stay out of trouble, raise our families, but a lot of us are never enlightened in our life. That's right. Through a lifetime of events, our brains learn what to expect, whether it eventually happens that way or not. And because the brain expects that something will happen a certain way, we often create exactly what we anticipate. Now, this is through the frequency. Whatever you put out there comes to you. Now, here's the number one reason you're not sober today. And here's a testimonial from this girl in the book. And she says, breathing back life into me. That's what this program did. Every day I used these tools and techniques, and they actually worked. I was able to imagine a happy life without the drugs, something that had always escaped me. And one of the surprising results was that for the first time in my life, I felt like I was not alone, even though I was doing the program alone at home. And I have heard this from people who have stopped drinking and drugs. All of a sudden they feel like they have a family in their groups, their friends, they've come to life. They realize there are people there for them. There are other recovering people that want to help them, that want to guide them. And it is such a freeing feeling to know there's others who have been through the same thing. That's right. Now, we have discussed this before, and certainly again, because it is that important. If you have tried to stop your drugs or cut back on the drinking and passed and failed, in the past and you have failed, part of the reason is due to the fact that on some level you don't believe in yourself. Here we go. Maybe you don't believe it's possible for you to be sober and happy at the same time. And this is true in the beginning. It feels so empty. You feel like when you first stop drinking or drugging that everybody else is having fun without you. They're partying, they're alive. That's right, the commercials on TV. And maybe you don't believe you can even be successful without alcohol. You know, alcohol is the accepted drug in our society, but it is one of the worst drugs because it gives you that fake power. How many times do I like to watch my guilty pleasure of people getting 502s, especially in Florida? Because when somebody is drunk, I don't have that problem because like I've said before, I'm one of those people that got saved from alcoholism because if I have one or two drinks, I usually can feel it right away and want to go to bed or go to sleep or start throwing up. So that's what saved me. But what if I didn't get sick and I had no bottom? The bottom line is that you don't believe in yourself, that you can stop drinking. You must choose to believe in yourself. And that's how I'm going to help you today. When was the last time you wanted to do something, but because you didn't believe you could do it, you never even tried? Maybe you thought you were too old to go play. Maybe you thought a friend whom you don't consider as smart or talented or as accomplished that same goal, and you say to yourself, if they can do it, I certainly can. Then you actually went out and accomplished it. What changed that made you finally do something and learn it? Maybe you learned something new. Maybe now you had a role model that you could follow. However, the most likely answer is that you simply started to believe in yourself that you were capable of doing this. And this is what I'm here for. I am your coach, Dr. Cindy, and I want to tell you, stay conscious. Just stay conscious. And I'm not talking about a sober conscious, but I am. I'm talking about being aware. They say this woke thing. Be awake. Wake up and smell the coffee. That's right. And you will start to believe in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, everything changes. Everything's possible. You overcome this fear. And you find solutions when you come up against challenges, and you naturally level your strengths and talents. Now, when you're afraid and you can't put food on the table, and this society is driving you up the wall with the politics and all the bad news every day you hear, all you have to do is do your steps. Does a sober vacation even seem impossible? People really quite remarkable when they start thinking. People really become quite remarkable when they start thinking that they can do things. When they believe in themselves, they have the first secret to success. This was Norman Vincent Peale. Can you imagine a vacation at a tropical resort in Mexico and not drinking? Diane certainly couldn't, yet that's exactly what she did after completing the program, and she actually had fun on the vacation, something she doubted would never be possible. Diane started drinking the way most people started, socially. Her entire social circle, and she believed that becoming an adult meant drinking alcohol. She also believed that being able to hold your liquor was an admirable trait, and she was proud to excel at it. Over the years, she'd had 3 daughters and managed to stay sober through her pregnancies. However, her 2 marriages were created and destroyed by alcohol. By the time she reached her mid-50s, she was a widow and surrounded by people who drank heavily. She knew it was time for a change, but really she just wasn't quite ready until she returned from a vacation and felt compelled to drink excessively. That night, she passed out, smashed her head on the floor, and almost bled to death. So shortly after that, she found this 30-day solution. You know, I think it comes to you through spirit, these tools. I just think you're ready at the right time. And felt like she had opened a supercharged craftsman's toolkit of things she could use for sobriety. Within 2 weeks, amazing shifts started happening. She was sober, and it wasn't a struggle. She connected with her children and used the tools she was learning to communicate more effectively with them, including helping them solve some challenges they were having. For the first time in her life, she said, I don't see myself drinking. I don't see choosing feeling the way I felt before when I know I can feel like this. Right there is the key to where you know that sober, you can feel absolutely phenomenal from having conquered the drinking. And that feeling is a higher feeling than being high on the highest drug, of knowing that you are sober and that you are completely at peace. Oh, wow. I don't see choosing feeling the way I felt before when I can feel this way. She had a radiant glow. She was happy. She was healthy. And this calmness and peace before, it had eluded her. Now when she looks in the mirror, she sees a complete image of herself, a completely different image. She has that radiant glow in her eyes. And finally, when the team reached out to this woman to see how she was doing, we found that she was able to return to her life 2 full years after completing the program. She was able to have an occasional drink and not feel the urge to get drunk or to go back to the previous levels of drinking. She loves to do her own version of the 30-day reboot by abstaining for 30 days and reviewing her favorite solutions and exercising. Now this book, this goes with not really so much abstinence like the AA programs, but cutting back or completely quitting. I believe in certain drugs like fentanyl, methamphetamines, those are drugs that are so damaging. I think it's even alcohol with many people that you do have to quit forever because it's just going to always go back to that level where you couldn't control yourself. Now, you can prove me wrong. You can do this program however you want. It's up to you. Today, this woman is thriving in sobriety, spending time tutoring, volunteering for a local food bank and a homeless shelter, and maintaining wonderful relationships with her children. I don't drink. I've never tried a drug. It's just something that I genuinely don't have a desire for. That was Blake Lively. Wow. The first action step today is simple and fun. It's all about shifting your beliefs so that you truly believe it is possible to thrive in sobriety. Whether your goal is to cut back or to quit drinking, it is critical, or drugging. I like to add the drugs in with it. It's all the same. It is critical that you believe you can do it. So part of this belief is also believing that sobriety will add joy and happiness to your life, not boredom and sadness. No, because now you get to finally open that door and become who you are and be the person you want to be. Instead of doing drugs all day or sitting in a bar all day or sitting alone in your apartment or house with that bottle of wine or those shots or those drugs, you're able to open the door and finally be a child again. Remember when you were a kid and you were out there playing, riding your skateboard, not a care in the world, being you? That's right. And then you become an adult and it's all about the work. And I want to talk to you about the meditation I did today to bring more joy and fun into your life. When we're finished with this, I'll give you a few minutes of what I found to be very powerful. That's right. Now, this is called teetotalism. Teetotalism is the practice or promotion of complete abstinence from all of the drinking or the drugging, and it will surprise you to know who is actually on this list. This includes leaders of countries, rock stars, athletes, politicians, CEOs, well-known TV personalities. I know on that bus, many people, I've seen many celebrities in Holiday on the buses because I've talked to them and they have gotten a 502, so they're taking buses and they're on their way to meetings. I know many, many people that go to AA meetings or sober living meetings and they're all the same because it's changed their life. And we have people like Jim Carrey, Warren Buffett, Natalie Portman, J-Lo, Eddie Murphy, Diana Ross, Donald Trump, Muhammad Ali, and Albert Perjuis. Take a moment right now to review the list on today's companion website. And there's a companion website we have, and it's HTTP, those long slashes, two of those, day5.solutions. So, and on top of my YouTube video, you can look those up. The next time you feel embarrassed about drinking in the past or drugging, think that not drinking at a party makes you stand out negatively. Remind yourself to list of high-profile people that know that it's poison for them. You are not alone, my friend. You're not alone. The placebo effect. Hundreds of scientists have studied and validated the placebo effect, or the benefits that results from a patient believing in a treatment that has no substance or active ingredients. In other words, a fake treatment. But the patient doesn't know the treatment is a sham. According to Dr. Irving Kirsch at the University of Connecticut, placebos are about 55 to 60% as effective as most medications like aspirin, codeine, and Prozac for controlling pain or emotions. That's right. They did a study, and people who were regular walkers got as much out of the walk as they did a shot of Prozac or being out in nature or meditating. One study, for instance, tested 13 people who were extremely allergic to poison ivy. Each person was rubbed with a harmless leaf on their arm and told it was poison ivy. Each were also rubbed on the other arm with poison ivy and told it was harmless. Interesting, all 13 people broke out in a rash where the harmless leaf was rubbed, where only 2 had reacted to the poison ivy. The power of your frequency. In another study, surgeons performed this knee surgery on patients with osteoarthritis, but only 2/3 actually underwent the surgery. 1/3 of the patients were faked with the surgery, and their surgeons made the incisions but did nothing to repair the knee. All of the participants were aware that they might receive a placebo surgery, but no one was told if they actually received it until later. 2 years after the surgery, the patients who had undergone the placebo reported the same amount of relief as the patient who underwent the actual operation. Their brains had expected the surgery would improve their knee, and so it did. How many times have you made that doctor's appointment and start feeling better instantly? And you go into that office, and then he gives you a prescription or diagnoses you or gives you a wellness program, something to follow, and boom, you're feeling better on the way out of there. I had a doctor. I used to be kind of a, hypochondriac. I mean, I would read something, and the worst thing for me was this medical book because I thought I had everything. And then I went to my doctor, and he would say, "No, Cindy, you don't." And right before he passed away, it was so funny. I was reading something about a collapsed lung, and I was just sure my lung had collapsed. And I made that appointment with him, and I went in there and sat down, and he said to me, "Cindy, if your lung was collapsed, you wouldn't be standing here talking to me." And I'll never forget that. I was so embarrassed, and I realized I had just read it in that book. And he passed away shortly thereafter, and thank you, not that he passed away, but he didn't need to see me keep coming in there with my hypochondria. I have a very impressionable mind, very, for the good or the bad. I have to really guard my mind as a Pisces. And this placebo effect, it really does work. In another study, they did 1957. It was diagnosed with advanced cancer of the lymph nodes, and they had painful cancerous tumors throughout his body. This man, Mr. Wright, he was given a short time to live, but he heard of an alternative cancer treatment whose creator claimed it worked on people as well as animals and begged to receive it. His own physician, after much persuasion, agreed to administer it, and the patient received an injection on Friday. By that following Monday, his tumors had shrunk in half. 10 days later, after further treatment, the doctor could find no trace of cancer, and the patient was released from the hospital. Interesting, no other cancer patients who received the treatment showed any improvement. I am telling you, it is the power of your mind. I am telling you, it is the power of your belief. So don't always say these cures by wellness professionals are foo-foo. Dr. Joe Dispenza has these seminars, and people get up out of wheelchairs and walk. And one day, this other guy recently on YouTube was saying, "Oh no, he's a charlatan. It doesn't work for everybody." No, it doesn't. You have to believe it will work. You have to believe that you can be cured, and the universe can take it away instantly. I don't have guarantees. I don't know your belief system. I just know that I've been taken out of things that never were supposed to even, I was never supposed to become a doctor, okay? I didn't think I even had the brains to graduate high school. I got pregnant in high school, so I never knew. And then I was so nervous for that GED test. And all my life, I had such lack of confidence, but I kept taking courses. I would barely pass. I got all C's over there at the junior college. I couldn't write very well. My writing was terrible. I couldn't do the math very well, but I kept plugging at it, and I kept passing courses. It took me 15 years at the junior college. I was taking math over and over, failing it. I love you people. If I can fail my way to the top and have a doctorate, Dr. Cindy Schreiber, you can do this. You can stop drinking. You can do anything you put your mind to with the belief that you can. Yes, you can. I'm here to tell you, you can. Beliefs have powerful, dramatic impact on your life. The choice of what to believe is up to you. You have to give up "I can't." That word is "I won't." You know, there's a word "I hope" or "I'll try," and us hypnotherapists tell you that is just BS. Because if you hope, that means I hope I'll do my best. I'll try, but I'll give up. You have to give up, I can't. That phrase, I can't, is the most powerful force of negation in the human psyche. I can't. I can't go on living. How many people have jumped off the bridge because they said, I just can't. I just can't face another day. That's right. I just can't live in this world any longer. The choice of what to believe is up to you. You have to give up the I can't. That's right. I can't stop the drugs because I won't be happy. So what? I say, so what if you're miserable a few days? How many years have you suffering from drinking and all the problems it's caused? All the lack of income, all the embarrassment, the humiliations, the hiding, the covering it up. You can be miserable for a few days and stay off the sauce, stay off the drug until your body doesn't crave it. You can. How many times have you tried and not done it? I'm excited to learn how to be sober and happy. Those are the sayings you tell yourself. Instead of, I can't, you say, I can stop drinking and drugging. I am excited to learn how to be sober and happy. I've helped many, many people stop smoking as a hypnotherapist. But I had this one lady. She tried every trick in the book to keep smoking. And to this day, she probably does keep smoking. I would give her a trance to quit, and most people it works on the first or second try. But not with her. I would have her bring her cigarettes in. We would throw them away. I'd have her clean out her house. Then she would just go right back to them. And you know what? If you don't believe in hypnotherapy, then it's not going to help you. If you don't believe in going to a therapist to support you and teach you and educate you, you're still going to drink or smoke or use the drugs or over gamble or be a sexaholic. Ask P. Diddy. These things that you think you need will destroy you eventually. You have to believe in you. We can both agree that the word can't has to be eliminated. We believe in you. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That's what makes you a winner. A winner. I would have clients that would come to therapy and they would say, for drug addiction, they'd say, well, can you prescribe me Prozac? No, Xanax, which is highly addictive. Highly dangerous drug. And I said, no, I'm not that kind of a doctor. But I can give you hypnotherapy and help you change on your own. Some people just want that instant fix. They'll go from one drug to another. If having others believe in you is a requirement for sobriety, most of us would still be drinking or using excessively. It's entirely possible that everyone around you gave up believing that you would ever get sober or get clean. And you know the people that have turned their backs on you. So you can't say, I don't have anybody to motivate me. That's okay. You have you and the source. What they think about you has no impact on your ability to succeed. That's right. What others think of you have no impact on your ability to succeed. So often you go through your life letting the opinions of others hold you back. It doesn't matter what's happened to this point in your life. The past is dead, I tell you, like dead flowers laying on the ground. The fact that you are still here and still reading says all we need to know about you. You are seeking. You are seeking. However, the answers are inside of you. They're inside of you, not in another whatever, another seminar. The answers are inside of you. We believe in you. Nothing in this book is too advanced or hard for you. Anyone can do it. It simply takes dedication, commitment, and perseverance. Now, this perseverance, I was telling you about this yoga monk. He said, forget about motivation. Because today you're motivated not to drink and tomorrow you want to drink all day. What you need is discipline, that word. And discipline will take you there. It will help you write that book. If you're writing every day for 30 minutes, Think about 365 days of the year. That book will be written. I myself lack discipline sometimes. I have 4 books started. Opiate Nation, Dying for Love. Those are 2 of them. And various others. I can't even think of them. But it reminds me every day, get on with your books. And get on with your therapy. This is why I'm doing these for free for you. Because until I really open my private practice, I want to work every day and use my talents to help. And this is the knowledge I have. So this is what I do. That's right. Every day I've been getting up doing this. If you have people in your life who doubt your ability to stop, decide that instant you're not going to give their opinion any power. In fact, let their doubt fuel your desire to demonstrate how wrong they all are. That's what Joan Rivers did when her husband committed suicide and she had egg all over her face and she wasn't employable at the time. She wanted to give up for quite a while, but she picked herself up and dusted herself off and said the show must go on. She ended up being so famous after that. Her comedian, she was so funny. She got up and stood up and suited up, and she was the funniest lady and cracked me up so much. She just tee-heed her way. And one day somebody was complaining to her about all the wrongs and things that weren't fair in the world, and she said, but taste this steak we're eating right here, how it melts in your mouth. She brought this person to the moment. That's right. Feel the moment right now. Feel it. Feel it. Why did it take so long? At the worst, I no longer wanted to use, no longer wanted to be sober. Either I felt evicted from life. At the start of the road back, I just tried to believe people who said that they would get better if I gave them time to do so. And I never stopped writing. And that was Stephen King. So many people who go through this program say, I wish I hadn't waited so long. It's like that commercial, I could have had a V8. They often say after a breakthrough that makes them realize that being sober and happy is not as challenging as they thought it was. Don't worry, this is a normal feeling. Don't worry, be happy. That's right, this is your 30-day coaching with Dr. Cindy, day 5. There were days, this person said, when the 30-day solution that led to incredible clarity. And one of those for me was the concept of confirmation bias. It was clear that despite all my education and knowledge about addiction, when it came to looking in the mirror, I only let in the information that confirmed that I didn't have a problem. Once I changed this, everything started to change. Our beliefs again, believe in yourself. Be sure to recognize that when you're looking for the answer you want to hear rather than what you're really seeking out, the truth. Walt Disney, the founder of Disneyland, was fired by a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Oh my gosh. And I lived in Anaheim, and I remember the little house that there was a plaque out front. They said Walt Disney lived up here. And when you read it, he lived up in the basement. He rented a room. And he would draw a picture of this little mouse that was up there. That's where we got Mickey Mouse from. That's right. So be sure to know that you can go beyond all of your pain and make something out of nothing. That's right. J.K. Rowling, the billionaire, author of Harry Potter series, was a divorced single mother on welfare, writing the first book of her life in a series. It was rejected by 12 publishers. She was not quite told that. She was told, don't quit your day job. Oh my gosh, Oprah was told she was unfit for TV and fired from her job as a co-anchor from a local news station. Sidney Poitier, the Oscar-winning actor, was told by a casting director, why don't you stop wasting people's time and go out and become a dishwasher somewhere or something? Steven Spielberg one of the most successful directors in Hollywood, was rejected from the University of California Theater Department 3 times. So you think you don't fit in? You do fit in. The Beatles were looking for a deal in 1962 and were turned down by the Decca Records. We don't like their sound. Their guitar music is way out there. There's no future for them. Elvis Presley was fired by the management of the Grand Ole Opry. You ain't going nowhere, son. You ought to go back to driving a truck. Ronald Reagan, the 14th president of the United States, didn't take office until 1 month before his 70th birthday. That's right, people. It is never too late. So I want you to remember your action steps for today. And I'm going to close this because I have a client waiting. But what I'm going to do is give you your 5 action steps. And then I'm going to do the meditation, and talk about how you can really feel that empowerment today and let go and learn how to play. So day 5, your action steps. Don't forget, you can be anything you want, only if you believe in yourself with sufficient conviction and act in accordance with faith. For whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And I love that saying. That's from Napoleon Hill. I've got his old book somewhere. The Believe in Yourself Solution. Believe it's possible. That's right. Here's your homework. Review the famous people that are now teetotalers. Okay? Think about their lives. This is easy for today. Stop using the word can't. Make sure you continue journaling out these things. Writing, drawing pictures, coloring pictures, whatever you do. It's not about harder working people. Oh my God, the jobs I went to, the classes I took, the therapist I took, people I drove and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to become enlightened. And you know what I do today? Turn on a YouTube video. And I even said to a friend that I paid thousands of dollars to, I hope he doesn't listen to this, when he was saying I trained Anthony Robbins, I said, I don't care about that stuff. Get into the healing business. Stop, fluffing out your feathers to everybody and saying, come to my great expensive seminars to get that enlightenment. It doesn't have to cost a fortune, but it can. It's whatever you choose. And I love you all anyways. Now, write down examples of using confirmation bias with your using. How many times have you told yourself, oh, I drink, but I don't drink as much as them. Oh, I know I can quit at any time. Oh, maybe you exercise or eat well and have healthy foods in spite of your excess drug use. So get in the mirror and face yourself. On the companion website, you will learn more about the science behind the placebo effect and find the list of famous teetotalers as well as some great resources. And I gave you that, http://day5.solutions. I love you. I know you can do this, and I hope this helps you today. Step 5, be proud of yourself. I will see you very soon. Love you.